Welcome to episode 59 and the start of season 5 of the RVMan LP exhibitions. Today we'll be playing Soul Calibur 3, one of my favorite games in the Soul Calibur series, with 2 being my favorite, although I don't know 2 at this point in time. Anyway, the reason 3 is one of my favorite games is because this is actually the first game in the Soul Calibur series that does not have a guest character. Alright, let me rephrase that. The second game, because the first one didn't have a guest character in it. Not that the guest characters were bad. Well, in 2 anyway, and in 4. It's just 5 it gets ridiculous. Yeah, especially with the inclusion of Ezio Auditore. But here, your guest characters are the custom characters. You can make the custom characters look however way you want with what they have to offer. And also there's a mode for the custom characters. Oh, by the way, I also like that THX intro there that they had with Galaga. Anyway, I would play Chronicles of the Sword, but unfortunately it's laggy and the disc is very scratched up from gameplay. So the only thing that's working is Tales of the Sword, which will allow me to play as all of the characters by default that I have already unlocked. So I'm going to play as Siegfried, because he's one of my favorite characters in this game. And of course, Soul Calibur 3 has Siegfried as the star, and not crappy Patroclus. I hate Patroclus! Anyway, Siegfried from Soul Calibur 2 is trying to get rid of Nightmare. Even though he separated himself from Nightmare as of Soul Calibur 2, he's trying to be rid of Nightmare for good and trying to make amends for what he did while he was Nightmare. As you could see, Siegfried is actually the faster of the two, with Nightmare being the strongest. But Siegfried's sword is pretty strong. As you can see, it really... Oh, turn around! That was kind of embarrassing there, but... Siegfried's sword is pretty strong. As you can see, it really hacks down people's health quickly. And of course, Tales of the Sword is sort of a story mode. Something like a text adventure, but you get into battles as well. And you have split paths that you can go to, which will harbor lots of unlockables. Had I went to the top part, I would have probably fought Tira eventually. Tira being one of the new characters in the game, as will Setsuka and Zazalamel. Yes, Zazalamel. However, those two will not make a return in 5, along with a number of other characters. Oh, I'll cross that bridge when I get to 5. That's if I get to 5. Right now I'm facing Rock, one of the characters that will be absent from said game. Oh. Fight back! Get him! There you go!
You win. Never again.
Starting to lag again. Well, that's the other thing about this game. I had to be careful because the recording itself was lagging. Oh, and we're going to the clock tower. Now, one thing about this game, there are a lot of Quicktime events. This is one of them. And there's Zazalamel. He's also a badass character too.
It's time for you to die.
Seeing as how he is immortal and keeps keeps being reborn every time he dies. And what he's using the swords for is to die for good. And speaking of dying for good, oh my god, if I would have got hit by that cock, I would have died for good. Sort of. Or at the very least, it would have dropped me down to half-life.
What did you... Who are you?
Even though Zazalamel's voice is really low, or the music's high, one of the two, this is still one of my favorite fights. I mean, Zazalamel definitely puts some sort of terror into you whenever he stalks you from the top of the clock tower. I wish they would have had that in Soul Calibur 4, but they didn't. And 5! Everybody had a lot of expectations for that game. Ugh.
False salvation.
You know what, let's just talk about those games when I do them. Anyway, after you beat Zazalamel, you have a choice of pursuing him or avoid chasing him. Again, whatever you choose will take you to different paths. Ironically, the first choice I made took me to an early fight with Zazalamel. Again, there's another choice there, and the more choices you actually discover throughout this particular area, well, this particular game anyway, mode, that's right, game mode. The more choices you make from this game mode, the more unlockables you have. And oh God have mercy, why does it have to be you? Keelik is definitely one of those characters that is really broken. Lance characters and Keelik can really be a pain in the ass for all of your characters. And God forbid if one of your edit characters get the soul of Keelik. That would just be beyond unfair. Wow. That sucked. But I was coming back.
I'll show you the way of the Ling Shing Su.
Sometimes Keelik kicks my ass, other times I get a perfect on Keelik. But Keelik is definitely one of those characters that can really annoy you. But if anything, Keelik is a noob's best friend. Hell. Oh, almost got knocked off the cliff there. But Keelik is a noob's best friend because Keelik has easy button combos.
Sacrifice my life.
At least I beat him though. I'm sorry, but they still have Keelik. It's just that, well, Keelik's a little bit different by the time the 5th game happens. Oh, and here comes another Quicktime event. However, I'm not quick on this draw. See, if I'd have pressed guard, I would not have lost any life. Well, I end up losing a quarter of my life. Trust me, this game is full of Quicktime events. There's like a certain Quicktime event that also involves Cervantes. And if you aren't quick enough, you'd be defeated. Well, not defeated, but rather you'd take about maybe a quarter of your health, if not half.
Be saved.
But Siegfried is just mowing down the competition. I like this. Until we get to Indian Port. Well,
He pursues a demon to avenge.
he is one of my favorite characters, don't get me wrong, but Maxie,
Finish my duty.
once Maxie starts, he is hard to deal with.
Versus Maxie. Fight.
And they've made very versatile characters. Like Siegfried, Keelik, and Nightmare has long range. Okay, and Zazalamel too. And Mitsurugi being incredibly fast. And then there's Voldo. For some reason, I just don't like Voldo. Oh well.
It doesn't matter whether I am saved.
And I definitely don't like Lizard Man.
You can keep up with me. Versus Maxie.
So, my reasons for not liking those two characters, I just feel Voldo is just not my type of character. And as for Lizard Man's moves suck. Meanwhile,
You should end your miserable existence.
wow, that's cold-blooded Maxie.
No longer. Versus Maxie. Fight.
Meanwhile, Maxie is just kicking the crap out of me. I was trying to bait him out, that's what's happening. But the computer is just cheaply using the same move over and over again and getting a perfect.
You lose.
Wow. And of course, that also happens too when I start the game again. Thankfully, it restarted again, and thankfully I was able to keep up with my recording. And thankfully, I didn't have to start all over again. Anyway, let's keep on going. We went through episode 7, so where are we going now? I'll try to top it up. Oh, you're going to the bottom one. Oh no. No, no, no. Not this place.
Versus Raphael. Fight.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, this particular path will lead you to a maze. And once I beat Raphael, I'm going to stop after Raphael because going further and further in this maze will get harder. I'm not saying that Raphael's hard or anything. Ooh, so close.
You lose.
I'm saying that Raphael is the least of my worries. Whatever health you come out of this battle with Raphael with, as you go down the maze, that's how much health you will have. To the point where the next fight you lose, you will go and continue the story regardless. If you beat the maze, well, then the maze will give you a special prize. However, I was only able to do this once.
You lose.
And honestly, I would have done this with a saved profile, but there's only one other problem too. My version of Soul Calibur 3 loves to corrupt its own data. So I'm starting over and over and over again, even though I've done possible feats. So, yeah, and beaten most of the challenges in the game. Yeah, notice I'm talking over the fact that I'm getting owned by Raphael.
Will I close versus Raphael?
Anyway, Raphael. Yeah, Raphael may be annoying, but he's a pretty versatile character. But what I was saying was, every time I would get to a certain point in in this copy of Soul Calibur 3, the data would corrupt. Like, for instance, if I've beaten Chronicle of the Sword at least 3 times, and went through all the challenges in Soul Calibur 3, and completed all of Tales of Soul, it would corrupt and force me to start all over again. I tried to get this fixed in GameStop where I got the game from. They say, we don't know what to do about it. So yeah, that's basically why I played this game to death. Well, the other reason anyway. Get back here! There! Die, Raphael! Jesus! All those losses. It's really embarrassing. Let's get out of here. Screw that. This maze will go on for about 3 or 4 hours. Let's put it to you like that. Anyway, now we get to one of my favorite themes in the game. This game's got some really good music, and this is one of them.
My unforgivable past versus Nightmare. Fight.
Obviously, this battle's gonna be epic. Hey, I'm trying to get back into the groove of deflecting while causing counterattacks and just impacts. Because I haven't played this game in a while. Seeing as how I have 4. But anyway, Nightmare just kicked my ass. I told you, Nightmare is the strongest of the two. Whereas Siegfried's the fastest. Take that! Oh! Ha! He fell for that. Come on! No! No! Strike back! Strike back! No! No! I missed him! Oh, that was so close!
You win.
Man, that was close.
Cleanse myself of this sin.
Woo! Oh, and now we get to go to the final boss of this game. Man, Nightmare was really tough.
I'm impressed that you made it this far.
Uh-oh.
Not bad at all. My dream is about to be realized. You, however, are not worthy of witnessing this.
Oh, he
glorious
says that
moment.
every time, by the
Leave
way.
this place at once.
I gotta say, this is an awesome intro. But the boss that's coming up is a rather painful one. Oh, and sometimes that sword doesn't even come out. So if that happens, that means you took a wrong path. And you won't get anything from it. Oh, Action Command. That will take half of your life if you didn't guard. Alright.
Abyss. Fight.
Abyss. That annoying move that he does, he will spam that a lot. He will try to draw you in, like Seth, and that move will cause you several hits, which will do a lot of damage. That scythe of his, pretty damn powerful. Thankfully... Oh, damn, that hurt. Really?
You lose. 9
He's already killed me before he fell out of the ring.
versus Abyss.
But still,
Fight.
Abyss is pretty damn powerful. And he's one of those characters you've got to avoid at all costs. Thankfully, the Soul Calibur that... Ow, that really hurt. Thankfully, the Soul Calibur weapon that Siegfried has will replenish his health after every strike. And yes, that does come back from Soul Calibur 2. Weapon effects, anyway. I just think that version of Soul Calibur kicks ass. It is awesome compared to what you get in Soul Calibur 5. Oh. Be careful, because that dash move that Abyss just did to me recently, that is unblockable, and that is a pain to deal with. But Abyss is down.
You win. Father, I won't give up.
Woo! That would have been too long for my taste. But nonetheless, Abyss is dead, and we get the ending, which also has a Quicktime event. I don't know why they put Quicktime events and endings, but I guess it was supposed to get 2 parts of the ending. I don't know, but Quicktime events and endings is really ridiculous.
For what you've done, you will never run away from your sin. You have no right to live. It is a sin for you to be alive.
Ah, screw you, Nightmare. Because by the power action command, I own you! I mean, Quicktime event, yes. Well, it's technically action command. Anyway.
No right to live.
It doesn't matter. I will live on. To live, that is my redemption.
And he lives on for 2 more games. So, with that said, that's the end of Soul Calibur 3.
Will never die.
And, of course, we also get gold so you can buy stuff in the stores, as well as getting unlockable features throughout gameplay. That's something I always liked. Too bad they don't have any stores in Soul Calibur 4 and 5. Anyway, that's it for this episode. This is RVMan 985. See you guys in episode 60.